Hi, it's Lawrence. Just wanted to explain about the working with a realtor form. Not actually a contract, but it is paperwork that we need to explain in terms of the relationship between the realtor, the brokerage, and the consumer. So the first off is the consumer relationship, which is this section here. And what it really means is that you don't really have a contract with the realtor directly. The realtor works for a brokerage. So the contract is relayed to yourself and with the brokerage, and the realtor works for the brokerage. The next section further down here is client. And so there's a difference between the client relationship here and up here with the customer. There's two different levels of customer relationship. The first is the client, which is the highest level, which means that we can give you advice and proactively protect your interests. And the second level is a client. And the client really is just like a dummy type of relationship in which whenever you have a request, we can fulfill that request to the best of our ability, but we can't really proactively give you advice. I'm not really sure why there's two different types of relationships, but that's just how it is, and we have to explain both those kinds. Lastly, you have this section here, what happens when there's a multiple representation situation. What that means is that the brokerage is representing two parts of the transaction. So for instance, maybe the brokerage is representing both the buy side and the sell side, or maybe the brokerage has two different buyers bidding on the same house. This often happens, especially with the larger brokerages, where although it is two different realtors, they're both working for the same brokerage. And so this type of disclosure needs to be made, and you have to make the approval on it, typically on the confirmation of cooperation. Lastly, down here is about the critical information, which is that if there's any critical information, we just have to disclose that type of fact so that you can make the informed decision when buying or selling. The paperwork down here, acknowledgement by, this would be your name. And this part here is the brokerage, both the sell side and the buy side. So on the sell side, if you're going to go for the client relationship, that's initialing up here. And down here is for the customer relationship. Similarly here, if on the buy side, you want us to represent you as a client, that's initialing up here. And down here is for the customer. And of course, just signing and dating. If you have any questions about the working with the realtor or anything else related to real estate, just call me anytime, 416-276-4895. Thanks. Bye-bye.